నా ఫోన్ అక్కడ ఒక్క తీసుకొని వస్తారా?
Naresh, done now?
Yes, sir, it is done. It is live on YouTube.
Yeah, we are live now, sir. You can.
Yeah, Sai, go ahead.
I request Ms. Ashwini madam to go ahead with the program.
Yeah, done, sir.
Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, madam. Ashwini, madam, go ahead.
Please turn on your video, madam.
Ashwini, please wait for a while, 1-2 minutes. Let
Okay.
1-2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Sai, why can't you change the screen?
Tara, stop presenting.
I request everyone to switch on your video. Naresh, you can take screenshots.
Yeah, please, all of you switch on the video. Mubin madam, Sushmita, Bandidas, Raidi, Vidyadhari madam.
Naresh, done with the photo?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Sai, go ahead with your program.
Sir, can I start?
Yes, yes.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Ashni, working as an assistant professor in ECE department, CMR Technical Campus. On behalf of CMR Technical Campus, I invite you to our first international conference on advances in signal processing, communications, and computational intelligence in virtual mode, organized by the Department of ECE, CMR Technical Campus, in association with AIP as a publication partner. CMR Technical Campus was established in year 2007 under the leadership of C. Gopal Reddy sir and as a chairman and Srimati C. Vasantalata madam as a secretary, with an aim and objective to provide quality education among the different sections of the society through establishing institutions in the field of science and humanities, fine arts, management, and engineering. The institute is spread across 10 acres with a build-up area of 3.8 lakhs SFT, every department has approximately 15 to 20 laboratories in different domains of the courses. The state-of-art infrastructure includes an indoor sports complex equipped with a badminton court, gym, snooker, table tennis, yoga center. Apart from sporting facility, the institute has 1,200 capacity of auditorium, 4 seminar halls, computer centers with overall 1,300 systems. 9 research centers equipped with the latest equipments and gadgets. 50 smart classrooms. Now, let us start our program with a prayer song by Vidyadhari, ECE student 4th year.
Over to you, Vidya.
Not audible.
विनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका देविनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका शरणो पार्वती तनयमूर्ति शरणो मूषिका वाहना शरणो पार्वती तनयमूर्ति शरणो मूषिका वाहना शरणो शरणो निटल नेत्रन देवी सुतने नागयज्ञोपवीतने कटिय सूत्ರದ कोमलांगने कर्णकुंडलधारणे शरणो 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 सिद्धिविनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका भटमूर्तिद पादकहारणे बाहुहर सचतुष्टने इटे तोडुगिय हे बकंकणे पासाकुशधारणे शरणो 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 सिद्धिविनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका कुक्षि महालंबोदरने इक्षुचापन गेलिदने पक्षिवाहन श्री पुरंदर विठल नानिजदासने शरणो 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 सिद्धिविनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका शरणो सिद्धिविनायका शरणो विद्या प्रदायका Thank you.
Thank you, Vidyadhari, for an auspicious song. Thank you. So we will continue this with the classical dance by our students Harichandana and Shivani. I request Harichandana and Shivani to.
Good morning, everyone. Video on చేసాక నేను ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఆప్షన్
Unmute the audio, please.
वन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्द्यशिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि विष्णुनुते भगवति शितिकण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूर्ते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते प्रबलवर्षिणि दुर्धरधर्षिणि दुर्मुखवर्षिणि हर्षरते भुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि कल्मषपोषिणि घोषरते तनुजनिरोषिणि दितिसुतरोषिणि दुर्मदशोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते मयि जगदम्ब मदम्ब कदम्ब वन प्रियवासिनि आसरते शिखरि शिरोमणि तुङ्ग हिमालय शृङ्ग निजालय मध्यगते मधु मधुरे कैटभगञ्जिनि रासरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Thank you.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful start to our event with an auspicious song and a beautiful dance. Thank you, Harichandana. Now I request Professor Sai Kumar sir, conference chair, to give a welcome address to the guest.
Thank you, Ashwini. Do I am audible?
Yeah, yes, Tara.
Sai, you are audible.
I welcome. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Tara Sai Kumar, Conference Chair of ASCCI 2021 and Associate Professor, Department of ECE, CMR Technical Campus. I welcome all the dignitaries to this virtual conference program on ASCCI 2021. I welcome all Dr. A. Rajareddy sir, Dr. Beg sir, C. Abhinav Reddy sir, C. Gopal Reddy sir, and Professor G. Shrikant sir, HOD ECE, and the chief guest of today's function, Dr. K.M. Rao sir, Deputy Director, Retired NRSC ISRO, and keynote speaker, Dr. Noor from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I welcome all the participants to this, our first virtual conference on advances in signal processing, communication and computational intelligence, ASCCI 2021, which is going to be held today and tomorrow. And with a publication partner as American Institute of Physics, which will be indexed in Scopus as well as Web of Science. Coming to the opening remarks, we have received around 160 plus papers for our conference from various parts of the world. Among that one, we have accepted only 81 papers from that one. That is the accept ratio of 50.6% is the acceptance ratio of a conference regarding the paper. And we have received the papers from all the parts of the world like Indonesia, Ethiopia, Malaysia, USA, and India too. And we have two keynote speakers for our conference. One is Dr. Noor from Malaysia and Dr. Supawati from Thailand, from Chingango University, Thailand. And totally we have 50 plus reviewers for our conference papers from all the parts of the world, which are undergone under the double review process. And I thank our chairman sir, director sir, and HOD sir for kind support and encouragement towards our conference. And my special thanks to my colleague, Mr. Aminuddin, who has supported for the website designing. And a special thanks to the Akriti Club, which you have witnesses the program that with a prayer song and a dance. And we do have a cultural program today at 5 to 7 p.m. with as a Zoom as a platform. And my special thanks to Ajay, Akhil, Bharat, and Ganesh, Anirudh of ECE2A for making this, all the banners and all the support from them. And the people who have helped me directly or indirectly, like I thank all the CMR family members who have supported me directly or indirectly for making this event as a grand success. Thank you, Ashwini, for giving me the opportunity. Over to you, Ashwini.
I request Professor G. Srikanth sir, Central Chair, to address the gathering.
Yeah, thank you, Ashwini. I'm audible, Ashwini?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Respected our visionary chairman, C. Gopal Reddy Garu, and respected Vice Chairman, Abhinav Reddy Garu, and our directors, Dr. A. Raj Reddy Garu, and Dean Academics, Ali Beg Garu, and my colleagues, HODs, Dr. Sujan Raju Garu, and Manaya, Vijay Bhaskar, Keshav Reddy Garu, and the faculty who are participating, and the convener of this conference, who work hard together to make this event possible today. Coming to the department is established in 2009 with an intake of 60. Then next year it increased to 120. Then subsequent year it increased to 180. So with the motto of generating a successful engineers and giving a opportunities and giving a placement to them, with the motto encouraging the student to do the research, work in the industry and perform well in the industry for the growth of India or growth of our country and states. With the motto we move ahead. With that motto we achieved an NBA in the first time. Then we are going for the renewal of NBA second time in the month of December 2021. This is not the first conference, but this is the first conference in virtual mode. This is not the first conference. We started our first conference with my colleague CSE HOD Srijan Raju and myself in the beautiful auditorium in offline mode, where CMR Technical Campus started this first conference, IC3T. Then afterwards is jointly organized by CSE and EC department. Then afterward, next year also we conducted this event, IC3T second edition. Then afterwards, we want to strengthen our departments. Then we added the centers in the department. We added in the centers, and with the support of the director, with the suggestions of the director, the department strengthened with the professors and doctorate people and senior faculty. We added the centers in the department. In each department, we have these 3 centers. One is the center. One center is Center for Signal and Image Processing. In fact, the program is we are saying under the banner of EC department, but this is totally controlled or totally executed by the Center of Signal and Image Processing. And we have another center, Center for Embedded and VLSI System Design, and which is headed by the Dr. P. Srisha. And the previous center was headed by the lead, center lead Tara Sai Kumar. And coming to the third, Center for Advanced Communication Systems, is by the Dr. Sudha Arvind Madam. So the motto of the centers to taking care of the research and innovative culture in the department, so that we can show our talent to the external world. That is our intention. With that motto, still now we achieved under this centers, we achieved publications are improved, and under this centers we have funding from the DST for Center for Embedded and VLSI Design. We have fixed funded project which is a 43 lakhs worth project, and under Center CSIP we have one project which is completed with a 8 lakhs funding by DBT, and we have another funding project that NST MIS by DST. So we are looking forward that CMR EC department known for his reputation and to attract the various students to for joining this department. So we are consistently working for the growth of the organization of the department in various level by encouraging the faculty to for their research publication and FDP. Each center is organizing every year, every semester they are organizing one FDP in association with premier institute like NIT Warangal or IITs. We have different clubs. The beauty of the our department or our CMR technical campus is the clubs which are introduced by the our director 5 years back. So we are seeing now the fruits. You are witness the programs which is under conducted by the Akruti club. There are different clubs are there. That is our strength, because we believe the students, if they really participate, they do wonders when compared to us. So that is the reason why the virtual mode they are organized the dance and prayer song. So I really appreciate the clubs, and we are really thankful to our management because most of the publications are accepted in our conference. Management clearly said we are going to give the total amount for as a part of the payment towards the journal for our faculty, those who are. So we have lots of encouragement from the management in terms of research and research publication part, in terms of R&D policies, in terms of patent policies. So we are really thankful for our management for encouraging the faculty to move ahead with the research and innovative things, and getting the funds from the various organizations. So with this, I really appreciate the Tara Sai Kumar and his team. Especially, I thankful to Amiruddin who helped us in the preparing this website and conference website, and make it possible to look into the external world. So I really thankful to all the members, the faculty who supported me, and the management and director and my other colleagues who are given in suggestions. Sir, this is this we have to do, this we have to, and Srijan sir, Manaya sir, and Vijay Bhaskar Reddy sir, Keshav Reddy sir, their continuous support. And finally, I thanks management and director and Ali Beg sir, who is given continuously forced that EC department should conduct one conference if it is possible, virtual or offline. So thank you for your support. Without support this was not possible, and I thank each and every person who made this occasion possible. Thank you so much, Ashwini, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you for a wonderful tour of ECE department. Now I request Dr. A. Rajareddy sir, Director CMR Technical Campus, to address the campus.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Chairman Sri Gopaladdy Garu and Srimati Vasantalata Madam, the Secretary and Correspondent of this CMR Technical Campus, and Mr. Abhinav Reddy recently joined us, the elder son of Gopaladdy sir, and he is a CEO of CMR group of institutions. Dr. Ahmed Ali Beg, Dean Academics, heads of the departments, and today's chief guest, Dr. K. M. Rao, and the keynote speakers, participants, and faculty members, heads of the departments. And at the outset, I welcome all of you to the first international conference on the advances in signal processing, communications, and computational intelligence, organized by the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, in association with the American Institute of Physics, AIT. So I'm very proud that we have very good number of articles received, out of which 81 have been selected for the presentation in the coming 2 days. So before I say something on this the conference, I would like to speak something about our institution, which was established in 2009 with 4 disciplines: mechanical, civil, aeronautical, and electronics and communication engineering. Later in 2010, we added computer science and engineering along with the MBA. So as in today, we offer 7 programs: computer science and engineering with 240, computer science engineering and AI and machine learning 180, data science 180, and information technology 120, and two new courses added to be added this year, particularly computer science design with 16 take and artificial intelligence machine learning with 60. So all the 4 BTech programs, eligible BTech programs, have been accredited by NBA, and we got NAC in 2019 February with a score of 3.12 on a 4-point scale with a grade. And very later in the same year, we got an autonomous. So now we are moving into the 3rd year of autonomous status conferred by the UGC and JNTU Hyderabad. So apart from this, the facilities, if you look at all the required, the state-of-art laboratories, research centers, and coming to the especially our, we are now trying to move towards excellence in the research and development. As part of that, we have been continuously organizing the conferences. This conference is going to be the 11th international conference in the campus, but it may be a first conference in ECE, but in other departments we do have. In the last 4 or 5 years, we have conducted nearly 10 international conferences besides 6 national conferences. And there have been a continuous process of conducting FDPs in every semester by each department on various technologies under the various research centers available. So as part of this, in last 3 years, we could get 5 crores worth of funding from the various agencies like DST, UGC, even, and ASCCI also. So to the tune of 5 crores, and out of which 2 projects have been successfully completed, and 4 projects are undergoing process, and very soon we are expecting the AICT funded Idea Lab also. So apart from this, we are also progressing in the publications part. Like nearly 600 plus articles have been published in the last 4 years, out of which 350 articles are published in Web of Science and Scopus indexed journals. And that is the strength of this particular institute, and that's what the departments have been striving hard to reach to the excellence. So really, I congratulate the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering coming forward to organize the international conference in virtual mode in spite of all arts in association with the IIT. I congratulate the department for hosting this particular conference, and especially I congratulate Mr. Tara Sai Kumar being the conference chair and the general chair, the HOD, J. Srikant, to make it possible today, and inviting the eminent speakers from various organizations, which will be witnessed today evening. And also I welcome at the outside bottom of my heart, I welcome Dr. K.M. Rao Garu, who is the chief guest for this the conference today. And hopefully we learn something from him also. And expect the delegates, participants, I request, honest request to all of them to listen to all the presentations and have a deliberation and fruitful discussions for to come out with a rather fruitful the outcome because of the, and also see that this research should disseminate to the students at large. That is the main motto and interest, so that students start to develop a culture of research culture, and also come up with innovations in this present scenario, the COVID-19 scenario. Things are changing very rapidly, And previously we used to say that one thing like before Christ and after Christ is referred every time. Now before Corona and after Corona. So you can see the whole world is transforming just because of Corona, and all of us should equip and adapt quickly to the changes what are happening and be ready to face any kind of challenge, and continue this teaching learning process, and continue to do the research work, and continue to do the innovations in the field of engineering for the better human or better mankind. With this, I once again thank the today's chief guest KM Rao Garu, and I thank even management, especially Sri Gopal Reddy sir, for continuous support in organizing any event in this particular campus, and also congratulate all the participants to be a part of this particular wonderful conference. So wish you all the best for the next coming 2 days. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your encouragement. Now I request Sri Gopal Reddy sir, Chairman, CMR Technical Campus, to address the gathering.
Respected today's chief guest, Dr. KM Rao, and our director, Dr. A. Rajireddy Garu, deans, HOD, faculty members, conference chair, and ECE HOD, and participants. Good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to this first international conference on advances on signal processing, communication, and computer intelligence. So at the outset, I congratulate ECE department for conducting first international conference in the department, even though they have organized jointly with the CSE department. So these kind of international conferences are required nowadays, because now scenario is changing day by day. Technology is changing rapidly, and also in next 2-3 years, that new education policy is going to be implemented on this scenario. Multi-disciplinary courses will going to be started. So we have to be ready in all aspects, in all directions, because first, if you don't upgrade your skill and knowledge for faculty, it will be difficult and challenging for the faculty to face the students. So I request all the faculty, please participate these kind of conferences, and also upgrade your knowledge by attending various workshops, courses, and online, offline mode. So be serious. Now scenario changed. So and on this occasion, I would like to congratulate once again for conducting this international conference, and wish you all the best for the good success for the international conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your encouragement. Nothing would be possible without your encouragement, sir. Thank you. Our chief guest, Dr. KM Rao, sir, he is a president. He got an award of President Award for his meritorious invention for color photo-write system. He received BE and ME in electronics from BITS Pilani in 1970 and 72 respectively, and his PhD in image processing from SK University, Anantapur, AC. Dr. KM Rao joined IISc Bangalore in 1973. He designed and developed black and white color for drum scanner images for the first time in India, and he received the Best Invention Award for the same. Since 1976, he worked with the National Remote Sensing Center, was designated as an operations director, IRS 1C in 1996 and IRS 1D in 1997. He was deputy director for NRSC till 2006. for crossing IRS satellite work in IRS projects starting from 1 kilometer to 80 kilometer resolution project. He designed and developed number of technologies for image processing and obtained 5 patents. And he got several awards for his inventions, such as National Academy of Science India Award, Drum Scanner Digitized for the Best Invention Award, Presidential Award, Engineering of the Year Award, Satellite Image Processing Bank, the first Best Invention Award in 1989. He has more than 120 research publications, supervised for 300 graduates and undergraduates. Now I request Dr. K.M. Rao sir to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Could you please on your video, Dr. K.M. Rao sir?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. With mask and without mask, lot of issues. So I thank management CMR Technical Campus for inviting me to this international seminar on signal processing, communication, and computational intelligence. I am very familiar with CMR Technical Campus. I visited a number of times for whether inaugurating the seminar or delivering the guest lectures. I also met Chairman Gopal Reddy Garu a few times when I visited the campus. I'm really happy that number of participants have registered and attending the seminar, and also there are a good number of publications are going to be available after the seminar. And we have two eminent keynote speakers, and then just now we heard Professor Raj Reddy Garu and Srikant and Sai Kumar explaining about the campus and their courses. Really, the courses and image processing center and all other centers, they're really excellent in the campus. Now, my talk, I'm going through the PowerPoint presentation. Is the screen visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
I think, Naresh sir, can you please give the credentials to Dr. K.M. Rao sir for
Can you give me the screen share?
yes, sir. Hello. Naresh sir, are you available? Sir, at the bottom you have a screen share option, sir.
Yeah, I have it.
But we are unable to. Naresh sir, are you available?
Host disabled the screen share.
Okay, sir. Naresh sir, are you available? Sir, 1 second, sir.
Yeah, okay. Can you share the screen, please?
Yes, sir. 1 second, sir. Naresh is on that job, sir. He is doing. Yes, sir. Now you can share the screen, sir. Dr. K.M. Rao, sir, you can share your screen now, sir.
Yeah, okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah, I acknowledge management and Gopal Reddy Garu and Srikanth and Sai Kumar and Raj Reddy Garu for giving me this opportunity to talk to the participants and participate in the seminar. As all of you saying, COVID-19 has brought all the technologies out of the shelves, and everyone else was started using the technologies. And during 2021, we had a lot of seminars and webinars. And not only that, we all started living with online work, meetings, e-commerce, and household IoT for connecting home gadgets like TV, robots, pressure cookers, refrigerators, washing machines, and air purifiers. Now I just talk few things in the technology development in medicine, space, and other areas. When we talk about medicine, now robotic surgeries are becoming very famous. I know a number of doctors, they operate the patients in different continents through robots. And similarly, robots are operated by different doctors in different continents, whereas the patients are in India. In robo, one is the main video camera and then small insertions for taking the instruments into the body. And the computer controlled devices help positioning and manipulation of surgical instruments. This is how is the robotic console. Doctor is operating here, and this is the robot, and this is the patient. And apart from that, robots are very widely used during the COVID-19 pandemic, like testing the patients. Robo is testing the people for COVID-19. Similarly, Robo is supplying the medicines from the store to the patients, and so on. There are so many things. Now coming back to the image processing, when we talk about image processing for ultrasound images, so we have different filters on the filters where filters can be clearly seen with the image processing. And when we have the image reconstruction, this is basically for navigation and operation of the patients. Using the MRI, CT, and PET, we construct the 3D of the human body, and from the 3D, we can extract any portion of the human body before the doctor goes for surgery, so that doctor precisely go to the portion where he has to operate. For example, when you have MRI sequence and CT sequence, these are all combined to get the 3D. And once you have the 3D, you can also do the dissection whichever way you want. And apart from that, we also devised a image processing software for combining CT and MRI. Normally the CT and MRI, they're all grayscale images. So we constructed from MRI and CT to color image. From the color image, we constructed the color 3D. And then from there, we can extract the tumor and then find out the tumor shape and tumor volume. The requirement for this is when the doctors go for the radiation of a patient for cancer, what is done is they're taking the shape of the tumor. The tumor shape is inserted to the radiation beam, and then radiation beam is shaped exactly like tumor shape, so that radiation is done only to the tumor and not to the other portions. This is what I was saying. Input, we feed the coordinates, for the tumor coordinates, and then beam is shaped to take the tumor shape. Apart from this, we also have in the modern time 4D CT. That means one more dimension is added. Normally we have XYZ and the time is the fourth dimension. This is required to target the tumors exactly because while the radiation is given, tumors they keep moving up and down because of respiration. So the fourth dimension is respiration depth. So when the tumor goes down away from the beam, then the beam length is increased, and then when the tumor comes up, the beam length is reduced. This is how it is done. So these sort of robots and this sort of radiation equipments, they're available in number of hospitals in Hyderabad. Normally I visit these manufacturing companies where they process this sort of thing in their radiation equipment in the US. So I discuss with our software and our ideas, and they explain me how they're doing hardware wise. This is how we sort of interface with them and understand. And accordingly, when we have these sort of things in our hospitals, I visit these hospitals and find out how they're doing for different patients with tumor radiation. This is what I'm saying. This is pictorially with the respiration, the tumor keeps moving up and down. So that's how radiation beam is shaped. And then the fourth dimension, time dimension is introduced so that radiation is exactly given to the required portion. Now coming back to the other latest things, what they're happening is capturing the brain waves. So with the transducers, they capture the brain waves, and using these brain waves, normally today they control control different robots and different equipments, and even the car by the disabled patients. So in other words, whatever those patients they think, they want to capture the ball, or they want to move a steering, or they want to move a gear. So accordingly, the robotic devices in the car or robotic devices in the house, they work in accordance with what the patient is thinking. So this is what is the thing with the epilepsy patient when she is thinking of capturing the ball by seeing the screen, the robot in that room is capturing the ball. The applications for these are many. Nowadays, when the players in the ground, when they playing soccer or whatever, so they have the helmet with the electrodes, and what are they thinking, which side they're playing, all these are captured at the office site by the software people, so that whether the player is playing for the team or playing for an opposite team, because sometimes the players go to the ground, they may change their idea and play against the team. So to avoid all such things, this sort of gadgets are being built. Other thing, when you talk about machine learning, lot of work nowadays, we find a lot of papers on the machine learning. This is one example. Till now, the pathology results are analyzed by the lab assistants, and they're all the results, though they are accurate, but sometimes they're subjective. To make them objective, what they're doing is they use the microscope with digitization facilities, and plus analytical software and machine learning. So the results are objective, and any number of times when they do the pathology analysis, the results are accurate. This demand is very high, and hence world over, this research is being carried out. And when we talk about other areas of communication, earlier we were only receiving data from the satellite onto the ground station and process and generate the products, whether it's a DLT or whether it's a CD or whether it's whatever the media. Sai Kumar, you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir. It's
okay.
audible.
Yeah.
Sai Kumar Tara.
So all these years we talk about communication from the satellite to the ground station, and the products are generated and products are supplied to the users. And currently, as soon as the data is received at the receiving station, the same data is also transmitted to different countries or within the country using the geosynchronous satellites. So in this, they use S-band or X-band, and then send the data, and then also to control the satellites and control the ground stations using the S-band signal for controlling. And when I talk about data collection, it was from the ground equipment, and then it became aircraft, then high altitude aircraft, and outwards it became a satellite. And now we get the data from the planetary systems. So accordingly, the communication frequencies and also the processing of the data, what we receive from other planets, is also challenged, because only the systems are there, intelligent systems are there on board the planetary systems. But whatever cameras are capturing, we have to analyze those. So on board those space probes landing on the planets or orbiting the planets. So then we use machine learning software so that the results are accurate and objective. And coming back to the satellite systems, earlier satellites, there were only one camera, whereas now we have multiple cameras simultaneously taking the pictures, like, the different cameras with 5-meter resolution and 23 meters resolution and 56 meters resolution. All these satellites, all these pictures are concentric, so that when the people get the products, they can register 5 meters to 56 meters or 5 meters to 23 meters. This is in the domain of multispectral imaging. And when we talk about high resolution satellite data, now starting from 1 meter, 80 centimeters, and then further it became 23 centimeters. And then this, of course, is 1 meter. And nowadays we get the few centimeter resolution data from the satellite. Then when we talk about image processing, again, it's data fusion. We have the grayscale picture, and the grayscale picture we use with multispectral image data, and then we get more details compared to what we get in the grayscale, so that we can do the we can get the classification accuracy more clearly in this case where we have the fused data. Apart from what we talk about satellite data or medical data processing, we also have the image manipulation, where when you have the picture taken with some background and we want to introduce this background to the picture, do the image processing, and then we can get the composite picture with the required background. So we started a few decades back with macro computers, and it became mini computers and workstations, and now hello.
Sir, we can hear you, Dr. KMM Rao, sir.
But my screen share is gone.
No, sir, we are able to see your screen. Sir, KMM Rao, sir, we are
Yeah. Something else came onto my screen, some computer, which has nothing to do with my slides.
Maybe can stop sharing and share again.
We thought.
Yeah, I think now again. So we have the macro and then workstations, and then it became like farm top computers and microcontroller type of computers. Then we got more familiar with wired and wireless integrated networks. So with this, we have the IoT devices, as we talked, all of us very familiar with day-to-day in the house as well as in the offices. And these IoT devices today becoming more and more human-friendly. And when we talk about, again, hospitals, these IoT devices becoming Internet of Medical Things, where doctor to the patient and patient to the doctor, or in autonomous hospitals, this medical Internet of Medical Things, they're all controlled using the central computer, and the patient's data is issued by the computer, and whenever there is an issue with the patient, there's a flag raised, and that flag, with that flag, the signal goes to the nearest medical assistant, and the medical assistant further informs the doctor to visit the patient. So these are all things that are happening. That is Internet of Things as well as Internet of Medical Things. Now, recently we started automatic analysis of electrocardiograms and echocardiograms using machine learning and deep learning networks. Here again, though we require number of samples almost in terms of lakhs or millions, but these databases are available in US universities, so that, I mean, those we can get access and then do that. But local hospitals, they said they'll support for ECG and echocardiogram analysis using the machine learning. So this is a latest research that is going on, in the medical field using the machine learning. So that is the end of my presentation, and within that short span, I thought I'd just give a overview of what is happening in image processing and medical, and then machine learning. Thank you once again for the opportunity given to me. I'm really happy to inaugurate the seminar and participate with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. KM Rao, sir. It was a wonderful talk. And thanks for being as a chief guest for our first virtual international conference, ASCCI 2021. Sir, can you please stop the screen sharing, sir? Yeah. Okay. Sir, as a token of appreciation from CMR Technical Campus, please accept our virtual memento on behalf of CMR Technical Campus, Department of ECE, first virtual international conference on advances in signal processing, communication, and computational intelligence. Thanks for being a part of our program and for making this as a great grand success. Thanks, Dr. KM Rao, sir.
Yes, thank you so much.
Ashwini, over to the keynote speaker by Dr. Noor, madam.
Vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have a vote of thanks.
So thanks, we will start keynote, right?
Yeah. So I request Mallis, Professor Mallis, sir, to give a vote of thanks.
Yeah. So good morning, one and all. Ashwini, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We are able to hear you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to convey my word of thanks on this occasion. And I thank our visionary chairman, sir, Sri Gopal Reddy, sir, for giving a wonderful facility to conduct this virtual first international conference. And I also thank Vice Chairman Sri Abhinav sir and Secretary Ma'am Sri Vasantalata Ma'am for giving this wonderful opportunity to organize this first conference in virtual mode. And I thank our director Raj Reddy sir for encouraging us to organize this conference. And also I thank our chief guest Dr. KM Rao, Deputy Director, NRSC ISRO, for accepting our request and for giving your views on this occasion, sir. And I also thank Dean Academics, Dr. Hamid Ali Beg, sir, and Dean R&D, Dr. Ashok Saxena, sir, for your continuous support for successful conduction of this particular conference. And I also thank our young and dynamic head of the Department of ECE, Professor G. Srikanth, sir, who is guiding us successfully conducting of this conference. Not only this conference, is always encourages us in conducting FDPs, webinars, and guest lectures. Thanks for your support, sir. And I thank all the department HODs and the faculty members and virtual facility managers who are helping us for conducting this conference. And last but not least, I thank the young and dynamic Professor T. Sai Kumar sir, who is the conference chair for this international conference. And I saw you working very hard, sir, since the day one for communicating with all the participants, all the colleges, and you work very hard and in receiving the papers, sending for the reviewers, and selecting for the papers, and again communicating to all the participants. Thank you very much, sir. And I thank all the participants who sent your papers, your research papers for this wonderful conference, and hope the rest of the program also went very well. Okay, and on this occasion, I'm also thankful for giving this opportunity to all the managers. Right? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm just giving back to the host.
Yeah, thank
you, Melissa.
Thank you. And I also thank the social media club, Mr. Naresh, also for his support. Yeah, Ashwini, over to you.
Our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Noorlis Mohammad Noor, is currently working as a professor in UTM Razak Faculty and of Technology and Informatics. She received her BSc degree in Electrical Engineering from Texas Tech University in Texas and Masters of Electrical Engineering and PhD from UTM. Her research area is in image processing and image analysis. Her current work concentrates on medical image analysis using machine and deep learning techniques for lung diseases. She is a senior member of IEEE from 1998 to 2001. She held several key positions in IEEE Malaysian section. She is the founding chapter chair of IEEE Signal Processing Society Malaysia chapter in 2002 to 2006. Elected as an IEEE Malaysia section chair for 2 years, 2013 to 2014. She is an active IEEE volunteer and held key positions in IEEE Signal Processing and Society Malaysia chapter and IEEE Engineering Medicine and Biology Society team. Today, her keynote topic is on classical and management of lung diseases. This talk will discuss the classification of management of various lung diseases, including COVID-19 and the current work involved. I request Dr. Noor Madam to continue her keynote.
Over to you, Dr. Noor, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ashwini and also Professor Saikumatara for the invitation on this. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. All right. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer of First International Conference on Advances in Signal Processing, Communication and Computational Intelligence to invite me as the keynote speaker. Okay, so without further ado, I will start my presentation. Okay, so I will talk about the diagnosis and management of lung disease. So mainly now we have this COVID-19, right? So the year 2020 has seen the world being traumatized by COVID-19 pandemic. So COVID-19 virus that attacked human respiratory system originated from Wuhan, China, currently spread to the rest of the world, including Malaysia. So this is already, we are on the second year already of this pandemic. So this talk will discuss about the diagnosis and the management of various lung disease, including COVID-19 and the current work involved. Right. First of all, you know, when we do biomedical imaging or biomedical problem, so we need to understand the background of this problem. So normally, I've been doing lung disease, so which is actually involved the respiratory anatomy since 2002. And being actively involved since 2006, right? All right, so first of all, so we need to see the respiratory anatomy. So actually we have the lungs, we have two lungs actually, so which connected through this trachea, right? So actually we are sharing with the same passageway, right, to the stomach. So but there's a shutter there which is closed, open and closed. So whenever we do the inhaling or the exhaling, so the trachea will open. Then when we swallow, so it will close so that it will go flow to the other channel, which is to the stomach. So the food, the liquid and so on will go to the stomach. All right, so what do we have in these lungs, right? So we have two lungs, left lung and the right lung. Then we have the what you call left primary bronchus and the right primary bronchus. So that is from the trachea. Okay, so in the lungs, so if you see here, we have a very small, what do you call it, the alveoli. So this alveoli is being covered by the membrane. So whereby this is the physics and the chemistry happen in transforming the oxygen, the gas oxygen that we inhale, turn into the liquid, so that it's being absorbed by the blood. All right. So this is where it forms, and the transfer from the oxygen gas, so that to the another form, so that it be absorbed by the blood vessel. Right. So the blood will absorb this oxygen. So this will be oxygen enriched blood. Then will go to the rest of the body. Right. And at the same time, the blood from the heart that contain carbon dioxide will go here also. So here, whereby another exchange occur, this carbon dioxide will be transformed into the gas carbon dioxide and will be exhaled. Right. So when it exhale, it will come out through the nose and the mouth. Right. So this is where the crucial part is. So if this get damaged, so meaning that the process is not possible. So hence your blood will not have the oxygen that will be sent to all the tissues, your muscles and so on. Right. So which is a very, very important. All right. So if that not happen, then the rest of the body will be died because of lack of oxygen. Right. So hence this is a very important. Right. So the membrane here, when it destroyed, so due to something, some foreign object or chemicals like smoking and so on, so it will affect this thing. So please take care of your lungs. So you must not smoke, and do not destroy this precious alveoli and the membrane, right? Because lungs is the same as heart, because when it's collapsed or it broken, this thing bursts, and then meaning that once it bursts, a lot of it will disappear. So it will just an empty space. Hence, the less oxygen being absorbed by the body, right? So normally, like the miners and so on, they also have this type of problem where you got the inhale of the toxic chemicals and so on destroy the lungs. So what happened is that finally you need to do lung transplant, right? So this, as in the transplant, as in any transplant, organ transplant. So in terms of the lung and the heart, the other person has to die. So that's why it's very, very difficult. So lung transplant is not one of the options, right? So therefore we have to take care of our lungs properly. Right, so the lung diseases, so mainly involved of the three types. So one is the airways disease. So this disease affect the tubes, airways that carry oxygen and other gases into and out of the lungs. They usually caused by a narrowing or blockage of the airways. So airways disease include asthma, COPD, and bronchitis. So people with airway disease often say they feel as if they are trying to breathe out through a straw. Then lung tissue disease. So this disease affects the structure of the lung tissue. As I said just now, it can affect the alveoli and the membrane and surrounding it. So scarring or inflammation of the tissue makes the lung unable to expand fully. This makes it hard for the lung to take in the oxygen, right? Meaning that, and release the carbon dioxide. Meaning that normally alveoli is still there, but the membrane surrounding the alveoli can be hardening. So when it's hardened, so the alveoli cannot expand, all right? So when we inhale, we expand our chest, meaning the lung is expanded, full of air, of oxygen. Then when we exhale, we push out the carbon dioxide, right? So this expand during the this contraction of expanding and during the inhaling and exhaling, provide stretching these tissues, lung tissues. So people with this type of lung disease often say they feel as if they are wearing a too tight sweater or vest. So for example, this lung disease that occurs this way is pulmonary fibrosis and the sarcoidosis. Next is the lung circulation disease. So this disease affects the blood vessels in the lung, right? So our lung also has the blood vessels, right? So they are caused by clotting, scarring, and inflammation of the blood vessels. So this blood vessel, because you need to have this blood vessel is the vessel that carry the oxygen, right? So in the blood, and so it will go towards the rest of the body. So starting there. So if this also problematic, so your oxygen is not being distributed to the rest of your body, right? So they affect the ability of the lungs to take oxygen and release carbon dioxide, and people with this condition often feel very short of breath when they exert themselves. Right, so tuberculosis, right? So this one of the my main study initially, right? So tuberculosis, right? So it's called a poor man disease, meaning that always happen in the unhygienic condition, because cramped living places and so on. Why? Because this is airborne disease. So if one person infected, then the rest can be, and then it can be spread quickly, and but this is not what they call it. It takes time to spread, and also to infect you, it takes time, and also it's not a deadly disease, because we already found the drug, the medicine for it. Okay, all right. And compared to COVID, this one is a slow process, so it takes time. All right, so pulmonary tuberculosis is caused by specific TB bacteria named Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So in this study, only tuberculosis that attack the lung via the respiratory system is considered, and it is called pulmonary tuberculosis. And the infection is normally concentrated in one area, either the upper, middle, or lower part of the lung. And the spread is normally from inwards near the windpipe or trachea towards the outer part of the lung. Okay, so this is a sample of the granuloma lung tissue, right? So a person may contract pulmonary tuberculosis from inhaling infected droplets from a cough or sneeze by an infected person, right? So granulomas is a special type of inflammatory reaction that forms in the lung tissue when it's infected by the MTB from the air droplets. Right, so it's another lung disease being studied is the lung cancer. So this lung cancer is just when the lung tissues or lung cells wake up one day and want to behave abnormally, right? So meaning that it's not behaving what it's supposed to behave. So hence it become dangerous, because it will attack the nearby tissues. So you can grow, right? So normally it's happen near the trachea, near the bronchi area, so it's on the lung tissues. So this is the non-small cell carcinoma, right? Then next one is a small cell carcinoma, right? So hence, the gold standard to diagnose lung cancer is that you have to take a sample of the tissue to confirm. So you normally do lung biopsy, but due to the location of this lung and also the cancer cells, right? So majority of the radiologists and the lung expert are reluctant to do this lung biopsy because it's very difficult, right? Very dangerous also to the patient, because what you in between the lung you have the heart here. Right, so the heart is keep on pumping, and your lung also keep on expanding while you inhaling and exhaling, right? So there is a movement, right? And plus, since there is a heart here, all the major arteries are around here also, right? So there are highly probability for the surgeon when they insert the needle, a very sharp needle, and then plus the lungs move, the heart move, and so on, it may suddenly accidentally what do you call it, pick or touch the arteries or the blood vessel, the main arteries. It already happened a few times already where when it happened, the patient can be bleed to death, right? Because of this major artery, so nothing can do, is all are inside, right? So that's why the majority of the doctors are reluctant to do lung biopsy, because it's in the inner part and not the outer part of the lung, right? Next, the lobar pneumonia, right? So lobar pneumonia is defined when one section or lobe of the lung is affected, whilst in bronchial pneumonia or bronchopneumonia, patches throughout both lungs are affected, right? So this is the illustration of the pneumonia in the alveoli. Right, you can see there. So the pus and also liquid. So inside this alveoli. So it will make the transferring of the oxygen to the blood vessels also difficult. Right, the symptoms and treatment. So what we have for pneumonia, coughing and fever. All right, so normally the treatment you take antibiotic and rest. So normally take not more than 2 weeks, you should be okay. If more than that, then something else, right? So the pulmonary tuberculosis, so also coughing, fever, but then it's over time. So you will have loss of weight and loss of appetite. So normally he's very skinny person, right? So normally the way they see to confirm, to diagnose, is to see the sputum smear test for the AFP. So maybe positive or negative. But then this is the output is really depend on the specimen. So if the patient cannot give a very good sputum, so it can be negative, but you still have TB. Next is the bacteriological test. And also the mental test. But these two are on lab. So it takes time. So normally it takes 2 weeks. So but normally our Malaysian doctor here doesn't like to wait, because they don't send the patient home without giving them the treatment. Because if it's true, if they have the TB, so they already will be within that 2 weeks they will be infected another few thousands of people, right? Okay. So therefore, normally what they do, they rely on the chest X-ray. All right, so they will ask to take the chest X-ray, and you can see all the whitish, like cloud and so on. So then they say it's confirmed. So they will start with the anti-TB drug for 6 months. So then they will see the patient every 2 months. So they should see a difference, meaning that they can see the recovery. Even though sometimes the scarring is still there, but then the rest of the lungs should have some recovery. All right. So, and then lastly will be the lung cancer. So lung cancer, still the same symptom. If there is the coughing, fever, loss of weight, and loss of appetite. And of course, the sputum smear test will be negative, right? So next, if they do this bacteriological test or mental test, will be negative as well. So normally what they do, they rely on the chest X-ray and also tissue biopsy. As I said, normally this one will be last option, right? So then the treatment for this will be the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and lung transplant. So what normally the doctor will do is they do differential diagnosis. So if not pneumonia, then must be TB, right? So within you have this loss of weight, loss of appetite. So they start you with a TB. Sometimes the motivation of this study is that we have a relative who has been going in and out the hospital for 2 years, right? So all the way for 2 years, the doctors suspected pneumonia. So here, if you see here, it should be recovered by 2 weeks. So why the doctor waited for 2 years, I'm not sure. So normally what the expert, the one that I'm collaborating with, is that if after 2 weeks not recovered, then they will do all these other tests, right? So which is the tuberculosis and so on, right? So then if after 2 months, if not, if there's no difference, then they will say suspected lung cancer. All right. So depending, normally they wait until 6 months, and then still the thing persists. You still have coughing, fever, loss of weight, loss of appetite. Then must be another type of disease, right? So they will go for the lung, this one. So that is the differential. Plus, of course, they will check your lifestyle and so on. They will do the testing and so on. So sometimes if you're not living in a cramped condition, you don't take public buses or public vehicle transportation. So normally chances of you getting the tuberculosis is much less, right? So then you can suspect something else. Right, so this is the sample of the X-ray. All right, so lung tissues infected with pneumonia. Pneumonia meaning it can happen anywhere, right? Just like inspect a pattern like that. Then here will be like a cloudy. The TB is like a cloudy version, but normally there is a pattern. So normally it will start from the upper part, will attack the upper part or the lower part, or middle, but all nearer to the trachea, right? Because it's starting from the airways infection. Then this one is the lung cancer. So lung cancer, normally they will be not cloudy like that. Cloud means spread, but here it's lumped together. So lumped together like a 50 cents coin. So that is this is already a later stage, right? So lung disease, lung cancer. So normally if you can have, you know, very small, there is another study for the early detection. All right. Okay, so this is an example of the normal. Right. So why we use chest X-ray? We can now, when I started, chest X-ray is the most feasible for in Malaysian context, because at that time, even though we have already CT scan or MRI, but it's too expensive, right? So normally chest X-ray is being used widely, even has been proven to be an important tool in aiding medical doctors in diagnosing lung disease. Secondly is economic conservation, cheaper to compare to other modality, right? And then because of this, almost everywhere, even the small hospital, small clinic has the X-ray machine already, right? And then also now we have the portable X-ray machine, so easily available, right? And then, you know, even in the remote area, remote hospital, they have already this X-ray machine. Right, so this is our initial work, and we use the Andrews curve to detect between the LC normal and the TB, right? So this is normal, the black one is normal, the blue one is TB, and the red one is LC. So for these three types, we can easily distinguish, classify the three. Okay, but however, when we have, when we have pneumonia added, so therefore now pneumonia is between TB and lung cancer, right? So therefore this method is no longer feasible. So we are introducing to a new one. So this is, we started with the wavelet texture measures, right? So we use about 12 textures altogether, right? Then we use the discrimination strategy using the LDF and the QDF, so to detect disease present and disease absent. So we use the pairwise. So this is between the pneumonia normal, PTB normal, and LC normal, right? So this is the pairwise discrimination strategy, right? So between the disease absent and present. So for this, we got a very good result for the normal lung, right? Now discriminating between the disease. So we have pneumonia, TB, and LC. Right, also another pairwise discrimination strategy. So we have the pneumonia TB, pneumonia LC, and TB LC. So we calculate the type 1 error and the type 2 error, right? So this is the mass classification using the LDF QDF pairwise discrimination, right? So, okay, this is using the statistical method. So here we're using the LDF QDF also utilizing, right? And then from here, this is we use the mean of energy and the maximum values. So from here, we managed to combine and get about 70% from the pneumonia, right? This is the methodology to get the pneumonia. But however, this way we only get 70%. Right, next for the TB, we managed to get quite good, right? So 96.67%. And lung cancer, much better than the pneumonia, is 78.6%. So all in all, what we do is the achievement is that we managed to classify the three diseases, LC, pneumonia, and lung cancer. Lung cancer, pneumonia, and the TB, right? Okay, now starting 2020, early last year, so everyone, even Malaysia, were hit by this coronavirus or COVID-19 virus. Okay, so how is that it affect? So this data I took from the Johns Hopkins Resource Center, Coronavirus Resource Center. So this one is taken in June, 5th May in June last year when it started. They detected December 2019, but already come to Malaysia, I think somewhere late February. The first cases was late February when we have received tourists from Chinese tourists from Singapore, All right, they come to JB, and also a few tourists coming through the our KLIA Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so therefore once in March, we already also been hit, but not as much as now. So we take care. So this is why this is quite scary, and really in need of urgent attention by everyone. Okay, so in 5th June, all right, total confirmed cases is 6.6 million. All right, so and then even here in India also is one of the top here. Then confirmed global death is 391,000, 391,000. So 1 month after that, so it's double. All right, so we have almost double. So now is 11 million total confirmed. And the number of deaths is also almost double, so it's more than 500,000, right? So 1 month, so meaning this is very, very dangerous, so very, very, powerful virus that attack our body, right? And also India also climbing up already from the scale. Before that was around here, now climbing up. All right. So now what happened now? This is as of yesterday. I took it 22nd July yesterday. So, this is 1 year after that. So from what just now 11 million, now we are 192,000, 192 million total cases global, global, right? So meaning I say, oh my God, right? So, and then the death is also 4.1 million. From 500,000 last year, after 1 year, jump and then another almost 3.5 million, right? And then luckily we have the vaccine already. So the total vaccine doses administered is about 3.7 billion. So it's about 1 billion complete 2 dose, and then the rest are all the single dose, and not yet completed. Even I myself, I already completed the first dose because I'm taking a AstraZeneca. So the second dose will be 8 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks. So mine will be next month. All right. Okay. Right. So therefore, you can see the daily cases up and down, climbing, then decline, then climbing, and then decline again. Right. So whenever we try to loosen up or the economy do like usual, it climb back again. Right. So this is our Malaysia scenario. So we also this year we hit more. We were badly hit much worse than last year. And last year we are taking all the precautionary, and I think now people may be fed up or boring, or because we already on the second year already. So because of that, like a suicidal attitude, or they trying to rebel, now we are getting worse. And plus the Delta variant, the new variant, which spread very, very fast. So for us, we have almost 1 million now, 951,000 confirmed cases. And our death now is, much more than last year. So it's 7,440. Okay, last year is only a few hundred only. All right. But we also the vaccination in order now. Right. So we about 14.93 of the population already fully vaccinated, and it is increasing daily. Right. So every day we are achieving about 500,000 dose. Right. So we hopefully can keep up the momentum until if let's say they say maybe as early as October or November we will reach the herd community. Okay. All right. So hence, due to this dangerous disease or virus, so the emergence of AI or artificial intelligence for lung disease due to the COVID-19. So before this, even I myself, trying to do, they're very hard for me to get the, the acceptance from the radiologists and also the medical doctors. But during this COVID-19, the AI, they accept, and especially you can see from in China, but they are the first one to be affected. But because they embrace, the medical officer, the medical practitioner over there embrace the AI, theirs is easily now contained. So very good, right? Why this AI is very important for the COVID-19? Because of the characteristic of this COVID-19 virus. So because it's airborne virus, the same like TB, but effect there, the rate of effect, the rate of infection is very, very rapid, right? And then plus they can rapidly spread. So now even the Delta variant, they say if you are with that person 15 seconds already, you may get it. Right? Compared to the old variant, you need to be talk to them about 1 hour or 2 hours, then you may get it, right? But now 15 seconds maybe just pass by, and you pass. No need to talk to the person, but you know, you just pass by him quite closely, you may get it, because just take 15 seconds. Right, so the carrier may not have any symptom and can transfer up to 5 generations. So this is worse, not like TB. TB is direct, but then once you being infected with TB, then only you transfer. Here, you may not be infected with COVID, but you be able to transfer up to 5 generations. Right? So minimum direct contact with COVID-19 patient is required. So meaning this, all the hospital or the medical doctors also, they have to be worried in treating this COVID-19 patient because they cannot be close. Otherwise, they also be infected and pass and die. So that's what happened in the early stage where many nurses and the doctors died due to this infection. Okay, then mutation in region of new variant. So keep on coming up new. We already have alpha, beta, the lambda, and the gamma. Now we have the delta. So fast and quick diagnostic is required, hence that is accepted by the virologist committee. AI provide more information, quantification, and also the pattern of virus spread or attack the respiratory organ. Next, utilization of the CT scan and X-ray images. So X-ray is more economical and portable, can go to the patient with minimum contact, right? So CT scan also, like in US, they use CT scan. US and China, majority use CT scan because they have all the hospital are equipped with CT scan. Likewise, also, but in Malaysia, we have more of the X-rays. We do have CT scan, but not widely because you know, one is expensive. So only in the big hospital, big cities have this CT scan. Right, so AI role in the COVID-19 clinical decision. So we can use AI for control infection, and so the function is to assess accurately and one-timely. And then we can also reduce the burden and improve efficiency, reduce the burden on our medical practitioner. And then hence we can do rapid evaluation. Then we can diagnose accurately, so accurately assess lesion and quantify the segment. All right, and then grading quantitatively, multidimensional comprehensive analysis of lesion, follow up dynamically, compare the result with multiple CT examination intelligently, and analyze the result quantitatively. Okay, right, so this is basically the component of AI for my work at AI based lung classification system. So normally we start with pre-processing, right? Then we do the segmentation. If you use CT scan, normally you just want to take the lung area. If you use X-ray, depending, sometimes people like to take out the rib bones, sometimes not necessary. Right? Then we have the candidate detection. Right? So the candidate detection, we try to find the potential tumors, microcalcification or polyps, or region that holds diffuse abnormalities. Then next we do the feature extraction. So each candidate is further analyzed. Each candidate is represented by a vector, and the feature vector can be represented geometrically by a point in feature space. So pattern classification, also known as a machine learning, studied based on the feature vector. So lastly will be the classification. So it can be binary classification or multi-class classification. So what you do is identify region in feature space where normal and abnormal candidates are located, is solved by training a classifier. So machine learning techniques that include deep learning, Bayesian techniques are among the tools as the classifier. right? So additional component may include a region of interest quantification, whereby we can do boundary detection, area or volume quantification, right? And then we also can do severity monitoring. So hence we can do severity quantification, progression of the disease, characteristic of different strain of COVID-19. Then we can also do treatment monitoring, effect on the medication and the disease progression getting worse or getting better. Right? So this is the first imaging of the novel of the corona COVID-19. So this is among the earliest in 2019. You can see the features this using CT scan. Right, so normally we have the what we call it, the patchy ground glass, the GCO, sorry, ground glass opacity, right? And then we have then you can have the consolidated, meaning it's hardening here, all right? So of this pulmonary opacity, all right? So this is the study. They can get more than 2 lobes, and so on, right? So this is what I want to talk about when I said rapid. Not only the rapid infected the spread, but also in your lungs. So this is the day 0. This is the CT scan. This is another level, also day 0. So you can see here there is some opacity over here, right? Next, after that, in the day 3, can see how big it grows, right? The opacity grows very big here, right? And then now you can see on the other side, this is on the left lung. So on the right lung, you see also where previously there's none. So now you can have this opacity. This is only between 3 days here, right? So this is how fast is this COVID, right? So even TB is not that fast, right? So this is on the X-ray, right? So this radiographic patterns of the COVID-19. So normally it's ground glass opacity, GGO, then the multifocal patchy consolidation, and the interstitial changes with peripheral distribution, right? So these are, if you use CT scan, you look this way. If you use X-ray, you will look this way. So this is already, they get rid of the rib bones. Right? So this is another using the chest X-ray. You can see the day 0. Right? So this is chest radiograph of elderly male patient from Wuhan who traveled to Hong Kong, China. There's 3 chest radiographs selected of the daily chest radiograph acquired from this patient. So the consolidation in the right lower zone on day 0 persists into day 4. Right? So here, from here, I see the lower right. This is the left side. This is the right side. So the lower, this we can see the consolidative changes and mid zone, right? And then still have here, but now it's already spread. And then it's spread also to the other side of the chest, right? So day 7 is all full. So therefore, this is very, very fast. Within a week, or not really within a week, within 3 days already, 3 to 4 days, you already get your chest infected. Right? So how do we do for this? Is I took it from the mainly from China study. So this AI-based segmentation of COVID-19. So you can see majority use UNET. Then we this for the segmentation. Then some use UNET plus 22%, and some use VMAT. So normally what they segment is they segment the lung, and then segment the lung lobe, and also they segment the lesion. Right? So similarity of COVID-19 with community acquired pneumonia. So you can see, right? So this is COVID-19, right? Pneumonia is also fast, but it can recover, because we already have the antibiotics for it, right? So you can see the arrow, the yellow arrow, and then you can see now it get worse, now getting worse and getting worse, full, right? So but pneumonia is slightly only a bit, all right? Then over here, slightly, then there's slightly, all right? Then also name, but not as worse as this one. Okay, as bad as this one. This is bad. Right, so summary of imaging modalities, task, method, and accuracy. This is as of March 2020, right? So we have about, I think the numbers doesn't change that much, no? So we have 60% using 60 CT and then 40% using X-ray. And then majority use deep learning, and then 14% traditional ML, right? So then the classification, the task is COVID-19, non-COVID-19, 50%. Then COVID-19 with others, 43%. Then severity assessment of COVID-19 is only 7%. So the accuracy, they already, because of deep learning, we can achieve very high already, right? So it's about 90%. 57% already achieved 20% and above. And then 43% is between 80 to 90. So let me talk briefly about my current work. So normally what we do, we have, I do a 2-stage lung classification. So first of all, it's good. I follow the procedure of our medical practitioner is differential analysis. So you try to discriminate the normal first, right? So normal, abnormal. So this is the first stage classification. Then once normal, okay, that's it, and you stop. Then for the abnormal, you can further between COVID and non-COVID. So this is the second stage classification. And from the non-COVID, so here we can do the virus pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, or other lung disease, right? So normally I still, well, Malaysia is quite difficult to get the images of the X-ray or the CT scan of this COVID. Right now, even in this I tried last year, so still couldn't. Now this year is even worse because we're having worse worse pandemic, worse the case is worse, much worse this year compared to last year, right? So for here, we total about 23,000 data set, where we have 11,800 normal and the 12,000 abnormal. So for the abnormal, we only managed to get 775 COVID X-ray images and the 5,000 pneumonia X-ray images, right? And 6,000 plus is other lung disease, okay? Right, so for the COVID and non-COVID classes, so this one is normal, abnormal classification model. So COVID and versus non-COVID, so we have this. So hence, because we got 775, so we have put it 774 for COVID and 774 non-COVID. So inside the non-COVID, we have about 374 pneumonia and 400 other lung disease, right? So for that, we use ResNet and BestNet. We use two. I think we started with various learning rate, right? So at the end, DenseNet for the normal versus abnormal, ResNet 101 is much better at 0.01 learning rate. And then for the COVID, non-COVID, we use DenseNet, 101 also at the 0.01 learning rate. Okay. So for this, we test it with a different data set, right? So some data set achieve very high, about 97.6, but some data set achieve quite low. So we just took the average, right? And the COVID versus non-COVID also, some data set is the same. We achieve quite high, the highest is about 70, but then some we achieve quite low, right? Because this low, because we use the DICOM, okay? Right, so therefore, we need to work on this better, right? So for the conclusion, the proposed cloud-based system is able to achieve a good accuracy range of 62 to 97% in detecting normal, abnormal, using chest X-ray images. And then for the detection COVID and COVID lung disease, the proposed system is able to detect with a range of 35 to 70% accuracy using chest X-ray images. All right. So, however, the accuracy is low when the non-COVID X-ray images is pneumonia. So the expected, this is expected since pneumonia and COVID has very high similarity in terms of symptoms and signs. Right. So these are our project profile. Right. So just put in the images and then we run and then we'll give the results. Right. So I need a lot of this data. I need a lot of tester to test. So my system to see right? First is a lab. Those are the results in the lab, right? Now, when we do in the real world, it will be something different, right? So I already applied pattern for this. Okay. All right. So lastly, thank you very much for your listening to my talk. A little bit, I need to inform about my universities. So I'm from Department of Engineering and Technology, so Razak Faculty of Energy Informatics. So our campus is in Kuala Lumpur. So we have several Masters of Science, and this is we are graduate faculty, meaning that we only have Masters and PhDs in our. We do not have undergraduate. So Masters of Science, so we are offering these are by top courses: Master of Science in System Engineering, Master of Science in Engineering Business Management, Master of Science in Engineering Education, Master of Science in Engineering Design, and Master of Science Sustainable Infrastructure. And then also we have the PhD Industry, and also Masters of Philosophy, which is a Master by Research. Right, so I'm also from IEEE Signal Processing Malaysia chapter. So we are proudly to announce that we are hosting the ISIC 2023. So in Kuala Lumpur, right? So we like to invite everyone to submit research papers. To every year they are having it. This year we are having in Alaska in September, and next year in Bordeaux, France. Right. So after France, will be in Kuala Lumpur. Right, so next is we also like to invite everyone here listening to my talk to submit papers to First National Biomedical Engineering Conference in November. So the call for paper submission is still open until 15 August, right? So please do join us. Either you can become just a non-presenting authors, or better still become the presenting author so that we can compare. We have a special session on COVID as well. So we like to know how's anyone in India studying COVID, so we can share the result. All right. So lastly, UTM at a glance. So we have, this is our Kuala Lumpur campus. Right, so actually we have 3 campuses in total: Johor Bahru, Kuala Lumpur, and Pagoh. Johor Bahru is our main campus. It's very large, or majority of the School of Engineering, majority of the schools are there, majority of the faculty, right? But in Kuala Lumpur, it's a smaller, but we are in the middle of the city, so this is the view. So we have this, this is where my faculty located is, and also our the International Business School. And then we have this Malaysian Japan International Institute of Technology, MJIIT. So this offer undergraduate, right? And also we have our own residential service apartment here, and also some small shopping mall here. So this is to bring extra income to the universities, right? Okay, and then we have Pagoh. Pagoh is mainly on the biotech. All right, so this is our core business. So we have 7 faculties, and we have 6 research institutes, 27 research centers, 6 center of excellence, 4 higher institution center of excellence, and 166 research group. Right, so this is the research entities. Right, so thank you very much for your attention. If anything, you can email me at noliza@utm.my. All right, thank you very much. So I'll pass over to the MC for any questions.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can post in the chat box, or else you can directly unmute yourself and you can ask to the speaker. And thank you so much, Dr. Noor Madam, for your wonderful talk and nice insights on classification and management of this lung diseases. It was a wonderful talk and nice to be a part of our program. And congratulations for your wonderful talk. Hope if participants, if you have any questions, you can post in the chat box. Madam, as a part of from the conference team, ASCCI 2021, as a small token of appreciation from our campus, please accept this token of appreciation in a virtual mode. Soon after this, the corona gets fine, then we will meet physically in Hyderabad, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Participants, do you have any questions? You can post it. And
so far, I see nothing in the chat box for the.
yes, madam. Yes. And one thing, madam. Okay, if there is no questions, participants, I'm sharing the screen. That is, we do have a session schedule. These are the paper IDs and dates and session share and timings and Google links have been displayed in the Zoom link. You can directly, okay, you can directly go to this Google link right now. Dr. S.M. Sameer from NIT Calicut has been joined for Google Meet for the session share 1. I request all the participants whose papers belongs to this category of session 1, that is paper ID 18, 14, 22, 26, 36, 47, 122, 125, 133, 154, 151, 105 and 155 are requested to join with this Google Meet link, and your presentations will start, and the presentations timing is from the 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. IST. Thank you, Dr. Noor, madam, for your talk.
You.
And we will be in touch for the collaboration work too.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And also thank Dr. KM Rao sir for being a part of this conference as a chief guest for our program. And participants, now we will take a break and we are closing this session of inaugural function. And we will have this session tracks from 11:30. It has been started. And the remaining afternoon session, same Google link will be already shared to all the participants. We will start the program at 2 o'clock. 2 to 4 will be the track 2 and track 3 will be going on. And now track 1 is right now going and the speaker has joined. And thank you so much for your all support. Be in contact, and I request all the participants to join to their respective tracks. And tomorrow we do have a keynote speaker, Dr. Supavati from Thailand, and the mode of talk will be from Google Meet, and the link will be shared very soon after this talk. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Naresh sir?
Yes, sir.
Now we can end this meeting, sir.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for your support.